Ribeye steak, folks. Let's get it. Okay, so look, first thing we got to do, right? Whenever you're cooking meat, but especially when you're doing the steak, right? You got to remember this. Your steak must be at room temperature, meaning it depends on how thick it is, how long, that tells me how long it needs to sit out, right? You know what I mean? If you got the air conditioner on, all kind of factors come into play. But listen, you want to make sure that you do that. Now, if you guys come on in here right here, I'm going to be using Auntie No-No's, right? Look, this is their seasoning line. This right here is fire. But today's choice right here, look at this right here. This right here, we finna use this steakhouse blend right here, folks. Now, when it comes to seasoning, listen, I want you to pay attention. You want to go ahead and season it, it's okay. You know what I mean? We want to put some on here because listen, it's a big steak, nice and thick. It's gonna go ahead and take a lot, right? Because you want it to be flavorful way down here, folks. So you gotta like season it, let it sit on here, and then look, check this out. This is something that I noticed a lot of people don't do. Right? They never ever, well, I ain't gonna say they. Some people do, some people don't. Most people don't. Look, you want to season here too. Now, this seasoning right here, listen, the flavor profile on this is banging, folks. I use it, look, it's like a little bit of a secret little blend for me. It depends on who's coming, if I want to show out, what I want to do, but this is it right here. Just go ahead, put this on here, and then we're gonna let it just sit on here, and we're gonna let it soak in. You know what? I'm gonna say we're gonna let it soak for at least about 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Once it kind of like dried out a little bit, and then it kind of like goes, when it pulls back inside, it put that flavor profile, just start bringing it, towards the center of that. But this is it right here. Okay, so look, I want you guys to come on here and take a look at this. I'm gonna move this back just a little bit. Check this out. If I move this like this a little, you can see where it has started sweating, right? This right here, this Auntie No-No's, look, this steakhouse seasoned salt is fire. Look, the profile on this is just right. It's got just enough salt that when you put it on here and you let it marinate onto your steak, you know what I mean, in like 10 to 12 minutes, look at that right there. You can see how it just started pulling some of that moisture out, right? And then as it starts to contract and put some of that flavor back in the inside, once we put that sear on it and start cooking it, this right here is the way to go, folks. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna be using, as you guys can see, obviously I'm using a cast iron, right? A cast iron skillet. Look, we wanna get this nice and hot. So today I'm gonna be using my avocado oil, something with a decent, with a high smoke point. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put, that's it, about a tablespoon, you know what I mean? And then we're just gonna go ahead and let this get nice and hot. Now, there's some other ingredients sitting over here that I hadn't even talked about. So look, when you look over here, look, this right here, this is gonna be our steak sauce, right? Anytime you have a steak, you don't have to have that, but this right here should complement, what your end game is, right? So look, I separate these ingredients, and as always, the full ingredient list will be down in the description box below, right? Now, here, how do I know when this is hot enough? Because look, when I'm looking at my avocado oil, when I look at it, it starts to, show me that little shimmer. As soon as it shows me that, I know it's nice and hot, and then we'll go ahead and then drop that in right on top. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this and listen. The initial put down, we like to keep that down for about 2 to 3 minutes, right? I'm looking at my watch and my hands. Look, we coming up on 3 minutes. I don't touch it, I don't do nothing like that, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and just pick it up, and then we're gonna turn it over. Once we get it flipped over, we only gonna go for about a minute and a half, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut my butter in half right here, because really all we need to do is use, about 4 tablespoons, right? So while that's going, because this is when we're gonna start our basting. If you guys look here on this side, I'm gonna just go ahead and drop this down. Now remember, we have some garlic cloves, right? Go ahead and bring these. All I do is smash them, just to get them to open up, just like this. We'll go ahead and drop those in there like that. So I just dropped in some fresh rosemary, right? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let that butter and some of this garlic work here. And then what we want to do is we want to start basting. So look, as it's cooking, we just want to go ahead and just baste. Now you want to have yourself a meat thermometer, right? Because look, we looking for about 125, you know what I mean? Then we're gonna go ahead and take it off, you know what I mean? And then let it rest. But this right here is essential, folks. We just look and see where we at right now. You can see it's starting to rise, 117. We got a little bit more ways to go. Okay, so now we take it and I'm gonna let it sit on my cutting board and we're gonna let it rest. So meanwhile, while our steak is resting, right? Look, this is what you want to do. You want to take the rest of your ingredients, right? I'm just going to go ahead and take this paste. And then we just add the rest of our ingredients. Trust me, folks. Now I got it. Some of you guys going to hit me in the comment section down below and tell me, hey, when your steak is seasoned right and done right, you don't have to, you know, have no steak sauce, right? This right here is when I say it complements, that's what I mean, folks. It truly complements the steak, right? With that Auntie No-No's steak seasoning, that sea salt, oh my goodness. Hey, trust the process. And so now just go ahead and whisk all of this together. Be careful, you know what I mean? Make sure you got a bowl big enough. You know that paste will be hard to get it going. So just take your time, you know? You just want to work it in just like this until I get it fully blended. Okay, so look, it's been exactly 12 minutes, right? If you look at the cutting board, you can see how it already has contracted, you know what I mean? Then it starts to relax. As it relaxes, it kind of like pulls some of the moisture back up in there, but that right there is what we're looking for, folks. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this across the grain, right? So here, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut one right here, right? Just so you guys can see the inside of it. We'll just move this back like that. You see that right there? Oh my goodness. Let me just cut this off here. You know, because when we start talking about, you know, chef's cut, it'll be for me, right? Okay, folks, I ain't gonna lie. You might have saw me chewing right before we started this camera back. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and cut me a piece. Everybody else been eating it. Cheers again, folks. I want you to take a look at this right here. When it rests properly, you're gonna get a little bit of this juice right here. Just letting you know it's done right. Now, for those of you guys that want to take it a little further, you guys can go to 135, even 140. I used to be that way. But once I learned how to eat a steak the proper way, I can't go back, folks. Now, let's talk about this flavor profile. When we talk about the flavor profile, I'm telling you it's there. And again, any steak that's seasoned properly with this Auntie No-No's, you know, this steakhouse seasoned salt, it's just like perfect, right? You don't need to add no nothing to it, like no extra sauce. But when I talk about something that'll like help it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just put our homemade steak sauce that we, you know, just made, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and just get a little bit like this. That's about all you need, just enough, just to, I don't know what it does. I don't know if it really enhances, you know what I mean? They marry together or whatever, but check it out. This right here, fire, folks. Now we living like we at the steakhouse. I gotta go back. Hey, you know what? So really what I want to tell you is, listen, The homemade steak sauce, really complements it. It's not enough I can say, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it to get you guys to understand it, but I promise you, if you take the time to make it, you guys will run back here and hit me in the comment section below and just tell me, hey, AB, with Auntie No-No's, steak seasoned sea salt, listen, this right here is just, when I say high end, that's what I mean, folks. Now, if you guys want to purchase it, check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link in my #1 comment, and then you can always look inside the description box, and you'll see right there. Just go there, hit them up on the website, and go ahead and check them out. I promise you, I'll see it again. You guys are coming back and just say, hey, thank you, AB. Now, with that being said, listen, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there, listen, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And with that being said, folks, I'm about to eat the rest of this steak up, and I'm out. Peace.